Hey guys, this is Mike from Northwest Man Time. We're going to do a little 101 on footwear. This is in response to the recent incident that happened, I believe it was in May 2013, where Mary Owens allegedly attempted to hike or ascent to the top of Mount Hood, or make a summit attempt wearing what they called running shoes or trail running shoes, which would be these. And so this is a 101 on footwear, what's appropriate on Mount Hood and what's not. So we're going to start at the basic. These are trail running shoes. This is allegedly something similar to what Mary Owens wears. This is what I wear. These are Gore-Tex. You can see the bottom. They have good grip. These are great for running. Just some of the trails around the gorge. Flat. They keep the water out of my feet. I mean, these are great. And then a step up from that would be a mid-weight hiking boot. These are the Nike Merriweathers. It's what I wear when I say I'm going to be out there for a few more hours. I really don't plan on running. I have run in them a little bit, but maybe I don't plan on running. I like that they unzip so I can take them off easily, let my feet dry out. Again, these are waterproof. These are very nice boots, actually. They're very lightweight, light rock scrambling, but nothing serious. You're not going to go on Mount Hood with something like this. You can go on some of the trails at the bottom of Mount Hood with something like this, but this is meant for just general hiking. You could go on 2 or 3 day hikes with this. I plan on going on a hike this weekend along the coast and doing some camping, and this is probably what I'm going to wear. This is a really good boot. Next we have snow boot, North Face. These are really good, and actually it's kind of interesting story because when I first started getting into mountain climbing, I didn't know anything about it, so I went to REI, and I actually went to the footwear department, and I'm not bashing REI because I really like them, but I told the guy I wanted something that would keep my feet really warm for when I was on Mount Hood. And he said, well, these are great. These will keep your feet warm. These are a great boot. And I said, well, will these fit with crampons on them? Because I heard I need crampons on the mountain. And he said, well, I think so. I think that's what this ledge is for. Well, I talked to the wrong person, obviously, and I'm not bashing REI, and I'm not saying that their people don't know what they're talking about, but that guy specifically didn't. And I bought these for mountain climbing. Luckily, my neighbor in the office over, Bob, who I talk about a lot on my blog, he has 50 ascents on or confirmed summits on Mount Hood alone. He's been climbing since before I was born. He's got 275 plus summits overall, just in the Northwest peaks. He's a serious mountain climber. I took this to him and I said, this is what I'm going to wear when we go on Mount Hood. And he said, no, you're not. This is just a snow boot. You can't wear this. And I said, well, why not? And I'm going to show you why not. So anyway, these are great for what they're made for, but mountaineering boot is something completely different. This is my mountaineering boot. This is what Bob wears too. It's a La Sportiva Glacier men's boot, and it's kind of an entry-level boot. They're not too expensive. I mean, you can see boots go up into the $500 range. That's not uncommon. I've seen them up at $1,000. And you have to remember what kind of mountain you're going to be climbing. This is good for Mount Hood. The reason I bought these specifically is because these are meant for serious hiking, and you can also put crampons on them so you can go on a glacier like Mount Hood. Now what's a little different about these is you're going to notice is that they're stiff. I mean, I'm really trying to bend them back, and they don't give. They don't give at all. There's a steel shank that runs through here, and that's really the difference between that and these. Look at these. These are all very flexible, and this is what apparently somebody else tried to ascend Mount Hood in. Too flexible. Also, this gives you really good ankle support. You can't roll your ankle in a boot like this. And that leads us to crampons, because when you're climbing a mountain, to get to the top, you're going to need a crampon. This is an entry-level crampon that I wear. It's a camp. Most of them look like this. And if you put it, you could fit it on a boot. similar to this. The problem is that the boot's going to give while you're up there, and it's not meant to flex like that, and your crampon's going to fall off, and you're going to slip down the mountain. And you could possibly kill yourself. So when you have a rugged boot like this, strap them in. I'll just show you real quick how this is done so you know what the end product looks like. It's actually just incredibly simple. Goes over here. I won't do the whole thing. It ends up looking like this. And because it has that steel shank, it doesn't allow the boot to flex. So the crampons are on there. You're not going anywhere. You have spikes sticking out of the bottom of your feet that attach you to the mountain. Because if you're new to the mountaineering, that snow's not soft. Unless it's new snow, which you're talking about avalanche dangers. Climbing conditions is usually going to be very firm. It's going to be a lot like ice. And you're going to need these crampons to get on there. So this is a mountaineering boot. And another thing about mountaineering that you have to know that distinguishes it as far as a boot is that the toe is meant to kick in holes in basically ice and at least really tough snow. If you took this and tried to kick in steps for 3-4 hours up the head wall on Mount Hood, you're going to break your toe. And it won't work. This I've used many times on Mount Hood. I can kick in steps, no problem. I mean, it's got weight to it. It really feels like when I'm wearing this that I could kick a car door in. I mean, that's what it's meant for. And we're talking about price. These aren't really that bad. I have them on my shop. You can look at them. I think I got them for around 150 bucks. These are about that price when they first came out. The North Face, you know, those aren't cheap. And Nike running shoes, those aren't cheap either. So for a mountaineering boot, I think these are great for Mount Hood. I've also summited Mount Baker with these. And the South Sister, which is another reason why I wanted these, because they're a little versatile. The South Sister, if you go in late summer, isn't going to be covered in snow. It'll have a snow cap at the very top, but you're going to do a lot of rock scrambling, and you'll need ankle support, and you're going to want a good stiff boot. And I wore this up there, and it was great. And I can't remember if I brought my crampons. I might have. I don't recall. It's been almost a year now. But if I needed to throw crampons on, I could. Now this wouldn't be appropriate for, say, Mount Everest. I'm not sure if it's appropriate for Rainier. I have to find out because I'll be doing Rainier this year. But for Mount Hood, I've used this many times and it works great. And that'll lead us to socks, because with boots come socks. Now, with my running shoes, I use a synthetic, it's a Nike. These are specifically made for running. They whisk away sweat. They're very, very tight. They're supposed to keep blisters away. I recommend them if you're going to do trail running. But for the big guys, you're going to want big, thick wool socks. And what most of the people are out there wearing are one of the best of the business anyway is Smart Wool. I have a medium weight pair. As you can see, they're not itchy. This would be good for a late summer hike. I wore these when I was up on Mount Baker. It was a little hot out. You know, I was wearing a shirt, a t-shirt at some points, and it kept my feet from overheating. But I also wear a silk lining underneath of them. That's been kind of the common trade or practice, is to wear a silk lining underneath. Some people say you don't need it. I've used it as one more layer between me and the snow, and I've never got a blister using them. These are extremely cheap. You can get these at REI for just a few bucks. But I also have these right here. These are the extra heavy, large mountaineerings, also Smart Wool, but these are the extra heavy that I use in the early spring when it's just a little bit colder out. So if you're going up the mountain, what you're going to want to do is make sure the boots have something like this. Go try them on. Go to an REI or a sports store and ask them specifically, not for boots that you can climb in, but mountaineering boots. And ask ask them if you can borrow a pair of socks. REI usually lets you do that, and you're going to put on a thick pair of socks and probably a liner and try on and see what size you wear, because you're going to need to be able to wiggle your toes a little bit but not have your foot moving back and forth. You're going to want it nice and tight, or otherwise you're going to get blisters. So I know what size I wear in these. Again, so I think that about wraps it up. That's a 101 on what you can wear on Mount Hood. These, no good. If you're hiking the trails lower Mount Hood, you know, that's fine. This is perfect for Mount Hood. I've also seen a lot of snowboarders up there. These are my snowboarder boots. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how you snowboarders get up onto the hog's back. I haven't really been paying attention. I see you snowboard down. I don't see how these don't go together, and I've never seen crampons for these. So I would look that up on YouTube. I'd find a snowboarder to help out with that. I know that skiers, they have very stiff boots, and they have crampons that attach directly to them, so they're fine. Snowboarding boots, don't recommend them for trying to climb up a mountain. That's not what they're made for. So that gives you a better idea of appropriate footwear for Mount Hood.